Hey everybody, and welcome back to the boat that's not yet afloat. So here's the foam. I showed you this as it started to set up yesterday, and here is the resin. And you can see that, let me get that close, that it's not quite fully clear. It has some bubbles on the bottom, but it is now like a very rigid plastic. And this is the fiberglass cloth, both the 17 ounce and the 1.5 ounce, and with that little bit of resin over top of it, I put it on a piece of 6mm plastic so it would come off. But now you have something that's not only very rigid structurally, you can't bend it left or right, you can't build it laterally, horizontally, vertically, however you're going to set it. But on the edges here, you can see just how flimsy and brittle it is. So the fiberglass adds a lot of the strength. Now imagine that as we're going to sandwich all of this together, overlapping that hole, and this will basically become integrated and part of the new hull. Essentially, when I sand down and on the inside and the outside of the hole, and I take it down to as much of the resin that can be exposed, the existing resin and fiberglass, and then I put the new stuff on, I'm going to get a really tight bond here, nearly kind of a chemical / mechanical type of bond. In the meantime, I've got to start mixing some foam, and because I'm going to be working down inside of the hole, I don't think the audio quality would be worth the darn. So what I'm going to do here is I'll set the camera up, I'll get various shots as we're mixing up the foam and then getting it in. I'll show you what it looks like now, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done here in the next couple of hours. Okay, there you go. Just as a reminder, got all the foam out of the cavity, all the stuff that was waterlogged and or damaged. We're going to start by filling up all the way down here in the corners down there in the gunnel wells, and then let that overlap part of the upper part of the boat. And then this is the live well, and we're going to be injecting some back that way and allowing it to start to spill not only down into the gunnel but starting to come back over here. And we'll build that up until we have a layer that's pretty close to the bottom here, but still leaving me a little bit of room for more sanding to come underneath and more sanding, and then all the work to be done up top. So let's get to it. Coming to help? Are you a helper? So far I've used a little less than half of each of those, about 1.25 quarts each is what I've used. 3 rounds, and I can feel the heat coming through the gunnels and also coming out of the hole as it continues to cure. I don't think that the heat would be dangerous, but just erring on the side of caution, I'm going to go ahead and let those 3 rounds continue to cure, and then that way I'll know just how much I have to do for tomorrow to continue to build it up. Let me show you what we have, and I am very pleased with the results thus far. Let me get the light in there so you can see. So we're looking toward the back of the boat here, toward the stern, and you can see that the gunnels all the way around are nicely filled in, and even here over top of what's the deck, the platform in the back on either side of the motor is really starting to fill in as well. I've still got to encase the cavity here around the live well, and weather permitting, it's supposed to get a little dicey Wednesday and Thursday, but I'll try to get the rest of it put over top of the live well, let that spill down this back part of the gunnel, get that even, and maybe we'll be all the way up then to the area where we can use that as the foundation and continue to move forward on getting this boat back afloat.